Once upon a time, in a faraway village, nestled between hills and a whispering wood, there lived a little girl. She was known as the dreamer of the village because she was always lost in thought, her head filled with fantastical ideas and kind wishes for everyone around her. The villagers, though simple folk, were fond of the child. They often shared stories about an old legend, a tale of a magical garden hidden deep within the woods behind their village. It was said that this garden had glowing flowers that sang, trees that whispered secrets, and a fountain that sparkled with every color imaginable. Most wondrous of all, it was said that if a pure of heart stepped into this secret garden, their most heartfelt wish would come true. But no one had seen the garden in many years, and some believed it was just a story to scare children into behaving. However, the little girl never stopped believing. Every day, she would skip through the meadows, chasing butterflies and making up games with the wildflowers, all the while keeping an eye out for any sign of the magical garden. One day, as she skipped along a path, she noticed something peculiar. There was a small hole hidden beneath a bush, camouflaged so well that she would end up seeing it if she had tripped over a stray route. Peeking inside, she saw a tunnel just big enough for someone to crawl through. With a mix of fear and excitement, she crawled inside. The tunnel was dark and musty, but after what felt like a long time, it opened up into a clearing bathed in golden light. And before her eyes was the most beautiful garden she had ever seen. Flowers glowed with soft, steady lights. Trees, with leaves of silver and gold, swayed gently in a soft breeze, and a crystal-clear fountain sparkled merrily in the center. As she approached, the flowers swayed in welcome, and the trees rustled softly as if whispering ancient secrets. Suddenly, a tiny figure emerged from behind a glowing mushroom. Startled, the girl jumped back, but the tiny creature only smiled up at her. "Welcome," it said in a tinkling voice. "I am Flora, the guardian of this garden. You must be the one the flowers have been waiting for." Confused, the girl could only nod, wondering how this magical garden knew she was coming. "The garden has been waiting for someone with a pure heart. Someone who believes in magic and wishes for the happiness of others," explained Flora. "You are the first such person to come here in a very long time." As she listened, the girl noticed a small key-shaped mark on the base of the fountain. Suddenly, she remembered a peculiar necklace she had found in the woods earlier that day. It was crafted from a leaf and vines and had a tiny key pendant hanging from it. Could this be the key to the fountain? With shaking hands, she took the necklace from under her dress and inserted the pendant into the keyhole. The moment the pendant touched the keyhole, the fountain erupted in a shower of sparks, then burst into a glorious bloom of colors. All around her, the flowers blossomed, their glow intensifying until the entire garden shimmered with vibrant light. Flora, the little guardian, flew in circles, giggling with delight. And when the light subsided, the girl realized that she now held a single flower from the fountain in her hand. It was a brilliant gold, yet it seemed to glow from within. As she looked closer, she saw that the petals were inscribed with glowing script. "This flower is your reward for being pure of heart," explained Flora, landing on the girl's outstretched arm. "It will guide you to the heart of the garden, where your wish will be heard." With Flora fluttering around her, the girl walked deeper into the garden. She passed by silver birches, whose leaves whispered secrets to the wind, by bushes laden with shimmering, iridescent berries, and by crystal-clear pools reflecting the sky above. Deeper still, she came across a magnificent oak tree. Its branches, heavy with age, reached up to form a natural archway, and its leaves shone a brilliant emerald green. As she stepped into the shade of the tree, The flower in her hand suddenly burst into a shower of sparks, and the tree shimmered with life. Before she knew it, she was face to face with the spirit of the garden. He was a gentle-looking man with kind eyes and a flowing white beard that reached his knees. He wore a tunic woven from leaves and flowers, and a crown of oak leaves rested on his head. When he smiled, lines of mirth crinkled around his eyes, and the girl knew she was in the presence of something truly magical. "I am the spirit of this garden," he said, his voice as warm and inviting as the summer sun. "And you, little one, are the first to find me in many years. What is your wish? For I am bound by ancient magic to grant you anything your heart desires." For a moment, the girl was lost for words. She had dreamed of this moment for as long as she could remember, yet she had never imagined it would actually happen. She looked around at the wondrous beauty of the garden and thought of all the people she loved. Her family, her friends, her pets, even the grumpy old man who lived at the end of her street. She thought of all the things she could wish for: ponies, castles, mountains of candy. But as she looked into the kind eyes of the garden spirit, she knew that these wishes did not feel right. Then she remembered the sick kitten she had found in the woods a few days ago, abandoned and alone, its tiny body racked with coughs. In that instant, she knew what she had to wish for. "I want to help animals," she said, her voice ringing with conviction. "I want to help them get better when they are sick and be friends with the wild animals in the woods behind our village. I want everyone to be happy." As soon as she finished speaking, the garden erupted in applause. The trees swayed, the flowers shimmered, and even the fountain bubbled with excitement. The spirit of the garden smiled, his eyes twinkling with pride. "Your wish is most noble, Chaya," he said, "and it shall be granted." With a wave of his magic staff, the oak tree shimmered and a new leaf fell onto the girl's outstretched palm. It was a perfect oval shape, smooth and unblemished, and it glowed with a gentle inner light. "Take this leaf," said the garden spirit. "It is a symbol of my gratitude for your kindness. Show it to anyone in need and they will feel a moment of peace and comfort. And should you ever need help, show the leaf to an animal in the wild and they will do all they can to assist you." Overjoyed, the girl thanked the spirit of the garden and raced back to the village, clutching the magical leaf. From that day on, the girl became known throughout the land for her kindness. Whenever someone was feeling down, she showed them the magical leaf and their spirits lifted. Whenever a wild animal was hurt, she used her connection to heal them and befriend them. And the garden remained hidden, waiting patiently for the next dreamer to stumble upon its magic. One day, years later, a young boy was playing near the edge of the village. He was a dreamer like the girl had been, with a heart full of kindness and a head full of fantastical ideas. He, too, heard the stories of the magical garden and set out to find it. He followed the clues left behind by the girl all those years ago, and eventually found himself standing before the glowing tree. He entered the garden and met the new guardian, a playful water sprite named Riven. Together, they made their way to the heart of the garden, where the spirit of the oak tree awaited. And so the legend continued, passing from one young dreamer to the next, ensuring that the magic of the secret garden would live on forever. Many years passed, and the girl grew old. Her hair turned the color of the oak leaves, and her eyes the color of the fountain. Yet she never forgot the wonders she had seen, or the magic she had experienced in the secret garden. One evening, as she sat on her porch watching the sunset, she saw a young girl skipping through the meadow. The girl was laughing, her head thrown back in delight as she chased a butterfly. The sight brought a smile to the old woman's face. She, too, had once been a dreamer, she thought. And it seems the magic of the secret garden continues to live on in the hearts of those who believe. The most beautiful wishes, she whispered to herself, are those made for others. So if you believe in magic and kindness, and if you have a pure heart and a kind mind, then the secret garden may just be waiting for you. All you have to do is follow the whispers of the wind and the song of the birds. And if you listen closely, you might just hear the tinkling laughter of fairies and the gentle murmur of trees. And if you're very lucky, you might just find a garden where wishes come true.